one of the things that's different with our scheme, when the DC scheme was originally set up, it had no members in it. So, but the difference with our scheme, it's going to have 160,000 people go straight into it. So, there's plenty of things here that we're sort of making history on. As you know, it's gone through the Queen's speech, so it's happening. There's no question that it's happening. It's going through its secondary sort of legislation now. We then have to get authority from the regulator. So the regulator now is also working with the Department of Work and Pensions to put their 2 pence in. And obviously at some point we have to go to them and with our scheme, and they give authority for it. Now, we've been working with these people all the way through, so we're not anticipating a major problem with that. But we're told that's either going to be the latter part of this year or the first quarter of next year, Chris. So, it seems like a long time, and we had a lot of lost years, didn't we? 2 years of Brexit, no government operating, more or less, etc. But it's definitely happening. It's definitely happening. And if it isn't the latter part of this year, it'll be the first quarter of next year. And as I say, when it opens, that'll be something absolutely special for all of us in this union, because it's another thing that just wouldn't have happened with all of the magnificent support we get of our members. No way would it have happened. But as it turns out, we're going to make history, and all those, especially as we're in a recruitment situation now, Chris, and we're going to be offering more jobs to people. These will be people that are coming in and going to be going into a pension scheme like no other business is offering. Anywhere you go now, you'd be walking into probably a seriously inadequate DC scheme. Is the only real show in town for any new employment. And we particularly want to focus in on young people now. So in terms of like the apprenticeship, we're in talks about, the CEO said, we've already said, we're going to bring back the postal cadet scheme. We have to sit down with the Department of Education for that, or Ofsted, because there has to be, if you leave school between 16 and 18, you have to have still have education attached to it. Another con, in my opinion, is just keeping people off the dole queue. Some people are ready to leave at 16, aren't they? And go and do a job. But we bring that scheme back. We're going to target bringing young people in. Imagine that, when your son or your daughter comes in and they've just managed to get one of these jobs with Royal Mail, just leaving school, and they say all the benefits, they say what the wages are for a start. I tell you, look at the wages for a 17, 18-year-old in Royal Mail compared to most youngsters. The fact that they're going to have a pension scheme and everything else that goes with it, got a trade union looking after them. I think most parents would be delighted and say, look after that job, because you've got security in there, and it may not feel like it when you're young, but that is extremely valuable to have. So, and that's what we're creating, as I say, and they will, in years to come, they will benefit from the fight we had and all our members had, and the pension scheme that we managed to get out of it.
Is maternity factored into this in any way? Because I don't want to lose out, because obviously I've taken time off to have a baby. That's from Ashley.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Ashley, it's in there. And again, that's something they said we wouldn't have got in court. So adjustments for employees on maternity, adoption and shared parental leave is in there. So if you're off for a period of time within the 6 months because of those issues, then obviously your calculation will be adjusted accordingly. So that's fair. But I have to say to you again, and I will repeat it because it's really important, we wouldn't have won that in a courtroom, and our QC said that. They wouldn't have addressed that. All we would have got is, if we'd have got a deal and they would have set the criteria, it wouldn't necessarily be the criteria we've got now. It wouldn't necessarily be as good as what we've got now, and it would have only been for the first 4 weeks of annual leave. So for our part-timers or people in those, employees with maternity or adoptive or shared parental leave, etc., you wouldn't have got anything for that.